Melanie C is Mary Magdalene. Currently on a UK arena tour, the Tim Rice Andrew Lloyd Webber show Jesus Christ Superstar is on in Birmingham tonight, where it's being filmed by Universal Pictures for broadcast in cinemas all over the world, after which it will be released on DVD and Blu-ray. But Mel, it's a bit of a small venue for you after the Olympic Stadium, isn't it?
I wouldn't say that. This is a pretty spectacular arena, somewhere I've been lucky enough to play with the Spice Girls before, as I have many of the arenas that we're touring this show with. But the Olympics was something else, and it was, what an incredible night. But I have to say, I've had an incredible year, and this really is one of the most incredible things I've ever done in my career.
From Spice Girl to rock singer, now musical theatre, is it important for you to keep reinventing yourself?
You know, I just really enjoy new challenges, and I like to think I will always be making my own music. I love touring and working with my band, but I love musical theatre, and it's something as a child I loved. I grew up with it. I grew up with Andrew Lloyd Webber's work, being a child of the 80s, and I studied musical theatre when I was 16. And my career path really was hoping to go into the West End, into musical theatre, and I auditioned for this girl band, and the Spice Girls happened, so it kind of took me off track. So I've kind of come back to where I intended to start.
Do you think Mary Magdalene was the original Spice Girl in terms of girl power? What do you like about her?
I think the things I like about Mary Magdalene are she's very tough. You know, things in life she's had to do to get by. And she's quite vulnerable. And I think Jesus really allows her to show her vulnerable side. And I think lots of women can identify with that. And also, Jesus knocks her off her feet. And I think all women have been knocked off their feet at some point in their lives. At least I hope they have, because it's quite good fun.
Do you think your role will create a new breed of fan for this show and perhaps turn younger audiences onto musical theatre?
I think Andrew's incredible. With his enthusiasm, you know, he's really tireless in pursuing theatre, musical theatre, and continuing a really healthy theatre business in the UK and across the globe, really. And I think taking it into the TV format, finding new musical theatre stars, and, you know, bringing people into the theatre who haven't been before, whether they're younger, whether theatre hasn't appealed to them. I think the wonderful thing about Jesus Christ Superstar is that musically, it's not really musical theatre, you know, it's rocky, it's soul-y, it can appeal to so many more people. And being in an arena setting, it really opens it up to a much bigger audience, and especially now, being on DVD as well.
Not everyone knows that a few years ago you went back into musical theatre, you joined the cast of Blood Brothers in the West End, and you were nominated for an Olivier Award.
Yes.
Was that something that you very much wanted to do at the time?
Absolutely. Well, after my love of musical theatre through my teens and almost, you know, training to do it, I never got the chance to, and so it was always a bit of a burning ambition, but it's not where I'm experienced now. You know, I'm experienced working with a band, working in a pop group, so it was really daunting, and it was a huge personal challenge. And the whole reason I wanted to do it was for that, really. I wanted to, you know, jump in at the deep end. And also, I'd become a mum that year, and working in London and being at home during the day, it just seemed like a great thing to do at that time in my life. And I didn't think about reviews, I didn't think about award nominations, it didn't even enter my head. And then when we got nominations for the Oliviers and the Evening Standard Awards, I was just absolutely blown away. And it felt really nice because people could have said anything about my performance in the theatre, a girl from a pop group coming into theatre, and I just felt like I was embraced by the theatre community, and I really appreciate them being open-minded enough to, you know, to just watch me with no prejudice.
You've obviously got this wonderful voice, but musical theatre requires you to do something else, which is to act, to play a character. Is that something that you have enjoyed exploring, and, you know, and what have been, if there have been any, the difficulties of going down that route?
Acting is something I've always loved. I always did a lot of it when I was younger, but not so much professionally, and I find that really daunting. But I've learnt with the couple of productions that I've done, you're really in the hands of your director. And as long as you're open and you listen and you try to apply what they're telling you, you pretty much can't go wrong. And it excites me because it is something quite new for me, and I hope I can do more in the future.
I wonder if we could talk about this show. You presumably, as you've implied, you grew up with Lloyd Webber. Can you remember the first time you heard Jesus Christ Superstar?
Well, Jesus Christ Superstar was one of the albums in my mum's collection of vinyl that she used to let me play with for some reason, scratch it to bits. And my mum had quite an eclectic record collection. There was lots of Motown, she's a big Stevie Wonder fan, Beatles, of course, being from Liverpool, and there was lots of other bands of the time, and Jesus Christ Superstar, and I remember it vividly, you know, I remember the artwork on the album. So it was one that I'd play, and I think lots of people, you know, of my generation, the generation before, they've really grown up with this musical, more so than a lot of other shows.
How about the actual music that you have to sing? What are the challenges of singing I Don't Know How to Love Him and other songs that you have in the show?
I think the initial challenge with I Don't Know How to Love Him is it's a very well-known song, it's a very well-loved song, and there are some versions which are, you know, just so beautiful. And I had to make the song my own. And I'm quite pleased. I think I've done that, really. You know, I had to come into the show and really think about Mary and think about who she is in this particular production and not lose myself. You know, I'm not a musical theatre singer. Yeah, I'm a pop singer. But I'm trying to be very honest and true.
What's the difference between a musical theatre and a pop singer, in your estimation?
I think maybe it's a derogatory thing to say somebody's empty, but it's a particular style. It's, you know, I do use vocal technique and I do take my vocals very seriously. I do lots of vocal coaching, but I think with musical theatre there's, you know, everything's pronounced correctly and there's a certain tone that is used. And I kind of think sometimes musical theatre can suffer because of that, because I think it can lose heart and soul. So I think it's always nice to, you know, to have someone that maybe comes from a different background. You're
working with quite an eclectic cast. You've got a comedian, an atheist comedian, you've got a kind of a rabble-rousing DJ, you've got someone who was cast from a talent show. It's quite a mix. How's it been working with not a conventional theatre cast?
It's brilliant. You know, it could have gone any way, couldn't it, really? And I've known Ben for a while, working on Superstar with him, and was so pleased that he won the role of Jesus because he was my favourite. And luckily, you know, we were all right, the British public were right. He's perfect for the role, and he's such a lovely man, and he's so lovely to spend time with. He's such a generous performer, as are all of the cast. Tim, incredible. I'm absolutely astounded by him every day. He's an amazing performer, such a talented and intelligent man, and again, a really lovely guy. I thought he'd be intimidating when I met him, and he's not at all. He's very sweet. Chris I've known on and off over the years, of course. He's interviewed me many times on Radio 1. And he's great. We're having loads of fun. He's very cheeky, but we just laugh constantly. And of course, we have Alex Hansen as pilot, and he brings some sophistication and class to the proceedings. And the stories will make your eyes water. Can you imagine the stories that we've all got between us? So we're having so much fun on the road. It's brilliant.
You say that Ben was your favourite. Do you think that you were able to interfere with voting patterns or influence voting patterns by making it plain that he was the one you wanted to fall in love with as a character?
I don't know. I don't know if I've got that much power over the British public. I'm sure I haven't. Ben is very grateful to me. He really thinks that my comments did help him become Jesus. But you know, I don't know. I think he did it himself. You know, he was the most suitable for the role. He's an incredible vocalist and a great actor.
Jesus Christ Superstar, it's 41 years old. It's a rock opera about the Gospels.
Yes.
Why has it lasted so long?
Musically, it's incredible. Lyrically, it's incredible. It's moving. It's dramatic. It's entertaining. it's emotional, it's kind of everything, and I think this particular production is very modern, very up to date. People can really identify with a lot of the things that are going on stage, and I hope that this will just make the show go from strength to strength.
Can I finish by complimenting you on your lovely dreads?
Thank you. Yes, they're on my own.
Really?
No, I don't even know how old this wig is. I don't even want to think how old this wig is. But I kind of feel quite attached to it now, literally. Yeah, this is Mary's wig now, so I don't want to lose it.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you
Melanie
very
C.
much.